Night had fallen over Bangkok, and the Chao Phraya River shimmered beneath the moonlight. Boats drifted quietly, their lanterns swaying with the current as if bowing to the towering silhouette of Wat Arun, the Temple of Dawn. But beneath the temple's beauty, a story rooted in terror had begun to resurface. A story no guidebook dared to mention. Ethan, a young documentary filmmaker from England, arrived in Thailand to record ancient legends. Among all the tales he gathered, one rumor drew him in the most: a hidden golden statue beneath a Wat Arun one said to be cursed. Locals warned him, "If you find it, you must never touch it." The Golden Guardian does not forgive. Ethan brushed off the superstition. Curiosity was the fuel of his career. One evening, while wandering the temple grounds after closing hours, he noticed a narrow stone pathway partially covered by vines. It led toward a locked wooden door. But the door, as if expecting him, slowly creaked open. He stepped inside. The passage descended deep beneath the temple. Echoes of dripping water and distant whispers followed him with every step. The air grew colder, heavier. At the end of the path, he found it, a small chamber lit by a single oil lamp. In its center stood a golden statue, a kneeling guardian with hollow eyes, palms pressed together in an eternal Y. Its surface gleamed unnaturally, like fresh gold untouched by time. Ethan lifted his camera, then paused. A strange warmth radiated from the statue, almost like a heartbeat. Against the warnings echoing in his memory, he reached out and touched it. The instant his skin met the gold, a violent whisper flooded the chamber. "You have awakened me." The lamp extinguished. Darkness swallowed everything. The next morning, Ethan felt sick, his vision blurred. His dreams had been filled with chants, cries, and horrific images of Wat Arun covered in flames. Still, he continued filming. He interviewed monks and villagers, but their faces turned pale when he mentioned the golden statue. Some refused to speak at all. Others only whispered, "You touched it, didn't you?" Strange things began happening. Shadows followed Ethan at the riverfront. Temple bells rang at night, though no wind blew. And each dawn he found muddy footprints by his hotel door footprints, the size of the golden statue's feet. One night, while editing footage in his room, he heard a soft tapping on his window. He lived on the 9th floor. Tap, tap, tap. He slowly turned. Outside the glass stood the Golden Guardian, its empty eyes staring in. Gold flakes dripped from its fingers like blood. Ethan screamed and scrambled back, but the statue vanished. Only 3 fingerprints of gold dust remained on the window, desperate for answers. Ethan sought help from Dr. Sarunya, a historian who specialized in Ayutthaya myths. When she saw Ethan's footage of the statue, she gasped and covered her mouth. "This is not a simple idol," she said. "It was sealed away centuries ago." The Guardian was created to imprison a restless spirit, one that protects the temple by destroying anyone who disturbs it. Ethan's voice trembled. "What happens now?" Sarunya hesitated. "The curse has already begun. Each night, the Guardian will come closer. And on the 7th night, it will claim you." Ethan felt his stomach twist. "How do I stop it?" She handed him an old manuscript. "You must return it to where it belongs, before the 7th night. But you must not look directly into its eyes." By the 5th night, the curse worsened. Ethan's reflection in mirrors twisted into a golden version of himself. Temple chants echoed even when he covered his ears. And he awoke each morning with gold dust on his pillow. He returned to Wat Arun after sunset, hoping to end the nightmare. But when he entered the temple grounds, everything shifted. The sky darkened unnaturally. Torches lit themselves. The river's waves grew still, as if the whole world were holding its breath. A procession of ghostly monks appeared, circling him, whispering in an ancient tongue. Their faces were hollow. Their robes shimmered with flakes of gold. Then he saw it. The Guardian, no longer a statue, but a towering golden entity, emerged from behind a pillar. Its footsteps boomed like drums. "You took what was sealed. You must return." Ethan tried not to look at its eyes, but curiosity betrayed him. He looked. The moment he did, agony pierced through his skull. His vision flooded with images, ancient battles, burning temples, tortured souls offering prayers as they melted into gold. Ethan staggered back to the secret chamber beneath the temple, the manuscript clutched to his chest. He dropped to his knees before the pedestal where the statue once stood. He whispered the ritual he had memorized, voice shaking. The air erupted with energy. Chants filled the chamber. The walls trembled. Behind him, heavy footsteps descended the stairs. The Guardian. Its voice echoed like 1,000 bells. Your fate was sealed when you touched me. The entity's hand reached forward. Gold crept across the floor like spreading fire. Ethan screamed and forced himself to finish the final line of the ritual. A blinding flash filled the chamber. The Guardian roared, then everything went silent. When the light faded, the Guardian had returned to its statue form, kneeling on the pedestal once more. Ethan collapsed, unconscious. At dawn, temple workers discovered Ethan in the chamber. He was alive barely. They carried him out, but when he awoke, he had no memory of what happened. He didn't remember the statue, the curse, or even why he came to Thailand. His footage, stored on multiple SD cards, had all turned solid gold. He left the country a week later, confused and shaken. But the curse wasn't over. Months passed. Tourists walked peacefully around Wat Arun. Everything seemed normal. Until one morning, a monk noticed something strange in the hidden chamber. A new golden statue had appeared beside the Guardian. It was kneeling, its face frozen in silent terror. It looked unmistakably like Ethan, and beneath it, written in dust, were the final words of the ancient curse. Every soul who awakens the Guardian becomes part of the temple, forever. As the sun rose over Wat Arun, the two golden statues glowed gently together, waiting, watching, and ready for the next curious soul who dared to uncover the curse. 3 months after Ethan disappeared from public records, Maya Rivera, a graduate student from Mexico specializing in Southeast Asian mythology, arrived in Bangkok. Her thesis focused on cursed artifacts in mainland Southeast Asia, and the most puzzling case was Ethan's, a filmmaker who mysteriously vanished after returning from Thailand. The last footage he uploaded online had been normal, but his sudden silence made researchers curious. Maya traveled to Wat Arun, carrying photocopies of Ethan's old research notes. She hoped the monks would help her, but the moment she mentioned Ethan's name, the elders exchanged fearful glances. One monk finally whispered, "Some doors were never meant to be opened again," but Maya persisted. As she toured the temple, something in the air felt wrong. A heavy presence. A faint smell of burnt incense that nobody else seemed to notice. Near the statue hall, she froze. There, next to an ancient kneeling guardian, was a new golden statue, clearly much more modern. Its face looked so real that it unsettled her. For a moment, she could swear the statue's eyes were filled with silent terror. That night, as Maya reviewed her photos in her guest house, she noticed something disturbing. In every photo of the golden statue, the face seemed slightly different. The eyes wider, the mouth trembling, almost as if the statue was trying to call for help. Then she heard it, a soft metallic whisper, coming from her phone. She pressed play on one of the blank video files Ethan had recorded. At first there was only static. Then, "Help me." Maya dropped the phone in shock. The voice was faint, distorted, but undeniably human. And undeniably Ethan's. Determined to uncover the truth, Maya returned to Wat Arun after dusk. She told herself it was academic curiosity, but deep down, something else was pushing her. Something cold, invisible, wrapping around her like chains. She wandered into the statue hall again. It was empty. Too empty. Even the usual tourists, guards, and monks were gone. The air vibrated. The torches flickered blue. The golden guardian seemed to shift its position when she blinked. Then, a soft grinding sound echoed behind the altar. A hidden doorway slowly opened. The same staircase Ethan had once walked down was waiting for her. Maya's heartbeat thundered in her ears, but she forced herself to descend. Each step went deeper into darkness, and with every meter she heard more whispers. "Turn back. Don't awaken him. Leave before he sees you." But one whisper stood out. A voice she recognized from Ethan's last audio file. "Maya, don't look into his eyes." At the bottom of the stairs, Maya entered a chamber larger than she expected. Dozens of golden statues knelt in perfect rows, far more than Ethan had ever documented. Some looked ancient, others looked recent. And one, positioned at the front, was unmistakably Ethan. His statue form held a small golden tablet in its hands. Maya stepped closer. The tablet contained an inscription in ancient Khmer, but somehow she could read it, as if the curse itself was guiding her. One guardian rises for each who awakens him. A new soul must take the place of the last. Her blood ran cold. Ethan didn't escape, she whispered. He was replaced. Then the chamber trembled. The torches burst into golden flame. Footsteps, heavy and metallic, echoed behind her. The guardian had awakened. The towering golden entity stepped into the chamber. Its hollow eyes glowed with molten light. Gold dripped from its hands like wax from a dying candle. Maya froze as its shadow engulfed her. Another seeker of forbidden truth. The guardian's voice boomed like temple bells cracking in a storm. Another soul to kneel. Maya stumbled backward. But Ethan's statue, his expression eternally frozen in terror, suddenly tilted, as if straining against invisible bindings. In her mind, she heard his voice. "Don't run, don't look at him." Place the tablet back on the pedestal now. The guardian's footsteps shook the chamber. Stone cracked. Statues trembled. Maya grabbed the golden tablet from Ethan's hands and sprinted toward the ancient pedestal at the center of the chamber. But the guardian raised its arm, and gold began crawling across the floor, racing toward her feet. As the gold spread, Maya's legs began to stiffen. Her skin shimmered. Her fingers tingled with burning cold. She had seconds before the curse claimed her, but the pedestal was within reach. The guardian roared, "Kneel and you shall live forever." Ethan's voice whispered, "If you kneel, you become one of us. If you resist, you may free us all." Maya screamed through clenched teeth and shoved the golden tablet onto the pedestal. A shockwave exploded through the chamber. Golden chains shattered off the statues. The guardian staggered back, roaring in fury. The gold creeping up Maya's legs cracked and fell off like dust. Statues all around her began to tremble. One by one, the golden statues opened their eyes. Some cried. Some screamed. Some collapsed into dust. Ethan's statue began to glow with blinding light. He looked at Maya not with terror this time, but with gratitude. The guardian thrashed wildly, losing its form. Its golden body melted, dripping into a molten pool. For the first time in centuries, the souls trapped within Wat Arun were free. As the chamber collapsed, Ethan's voice, now warm and human, echoed, "Run, Maya, the curse is broken." But the temple is waking. Maya sprinted up the staircase as the chamber crumbled behind her. She burst back into the temple courtyard just as the sun began to rise. And for a moment, just as dawn touched the spires of Wat Arun, she saw dozens of faint, shimmering silhouettes drift upward into the morning light. They were finally free. All except one. Because when Maya turned back, standing in the shadows near the open doorway was a single golden statue that hadn't melted. Tall, silent, watching. It wasn't the guardian. And it wasn't Ethan. It was new. A statue with her own face. Her blood turned to ice. Because the statue's lips moved and whispered, "The curse never ends."